Just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 20-yard line.
To throw is Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check, 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 check.
Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's Matt Weil now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Now, I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Successive penalties have them looking now at a 1st and 20. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. They come out here in the I. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, touchdown number 15 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Well, throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
Check, check. Fresno. Shift.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tighten up. Right there, 54.
From the 40 now on second down. Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Box it. I'm scared. Check, 50. Check 30. Check.
Now it's Rodgers. Complete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 7. Able to slither by. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Cousins gives way to Cook. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Rodgers brings it in. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brought down back at the 45-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A toss to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. A give to Cook out of the gun. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 50-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From midfield, here's Rodgers. It's complete to Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield, or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yardage on first and second down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Hey, check Mike.
Now Cousins. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 32-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Check back.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers got his man. It's Williams. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Here I come. Here I come.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On play action, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Set it up. 319.
On first down, it's Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers.
So people playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the
throw across his body, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 14-7.
14. Packers 7. Dan Bailey to kick off 4 Minnesota.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw again. He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
Inside.
55, come on, God, 55. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
They go play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
319. I know he ain't got the 50.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Rodgers now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10.
Check, go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Right there.
On play action, Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Geronimo Allison in the final seconds of the first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point try now for Crosby. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guaranteed the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Let's get it. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 1 back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal.
26.
To throw is Rodgers. This is caught. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 30. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force them into a field goal attempt.
So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take a 17-14 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Play fake. Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Throwing is Rodgers. Open. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Alert 3. Alert 3. Check 3.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And Crosby puts it through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 4th-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins got it complete to Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 17 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and about a mile here.
Brings up 2nd down.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Cousins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Going deep for Diggs. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Let's get off the field, Steven. Over. Shift. Boom. Mike 5-4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
I'm going to come back to you.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Jones. And he's got some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 24.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, The punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and long for Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Rashawn Gary in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Cousins on 4th down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Zadarius Smith. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Now Jones, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's complete, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Wide.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Cousins now. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 75 yards.
First down and goal to go.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Easy.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Listen to me.
51, Mike. Mike 51. Man, let's get that.
Off the play fake. Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Packers 31, Vikings 21.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
No. 58.
54. Mike 54. Hey, come on out here. Come get this.
On 1st down, it's Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, Pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Branning.